Okay, so here is, I think this is our scope. Let's open this up and see what's inside here. Okay, brought out a couple other scopes. I'm going to have to be more careful. It's the DSO112A, and this is supposed to have a touch screen. Okay. Okay, let's see what we got inside here. Okay, so it looks like everything's in this box. Here's the quick guide for connecting it. And looks like it's about a page long. Okay. And this is in English. And it looks like the whole thing is English. Okay. And it talks about what you gotta do to get this thing to work, it looks like. And, wow. It's actually very small. Oh, holy cow. Okay, looks like it's got one input port. Okay. And, oh, this must be, what the heck? Let's see what this is. Okay. Okay, this has got the RF connector there. So it's got a little RF connector. And the inputs here. So that's one. Oh, we got two of these. Although I think it's only one channel. Okay, these look identical. It's got the little, I think they're, shoot, I forget those are called SMP connectors maybe. And nice clip leads to clip it on. And this looks like a USB power supply for charging. Okay. So maybe I will get this scope charging and we'll test it out. Should be interesting. Okay. Again, there's a scope. Okay. Well, let's take a look at the back. Okay. A USB port on the top. Okay. So, really not too many buttons. Looks like one button down here. Okay. Okay, so here's our scope. And maybe I'll just plug in these guys here, these RF connectors. Okay, just so I don't lose them. That's an input. And it looks like there's an output here, or external trigger, so I guess it can be used as either. Okay. I'll get this lined up perfectly. Okay, there. So we got our two leads plugged in, and let's get it plugged into, I guess, the computer here. Let me plug the USB into our computer thing, and let's move it over here. So there's the USB port, and we'll plug her in like that. Okay. There, and we'll just let it charge. I don't see any indications that it's charging, but hopefully it's working. And seems to be a nice little, pretty nice size, I guess. Okay, and we'll just let that charge for a while. Okay, I guess I should have read the directions first. I tried charging it and it didn't start up, and then I was reading this. It says close the internal battery switch by sliding it toward the USB connector with a small stick. And it's talking about this thing right under this little slot, and it's supposed to slide it toward the USB. There's a tiny little slot there, and the only stick that I can find that would be small enough to stick in there would be like a pin. Let's move this over into the light a little bit. I don't know if there's something in there. Make sure the pin is cleaned off. I don't want to introduce some junk into there. Okay, I guess there's I don't know if I did it or not, but I know I turned it on with the USB plugged in and it did work, but the battery did not charge up. Okay, so I used a small stick. Here's our small stick. It's a pin. Don't prick yourself with it. And it said that there's supposed to be a red LED that lights up when you plug this thing in to show it's charging. Oh, okay, now it's lighting up. It wasn't lighting up before. So you need to take a small stick and put it in there and slide it to the left over here. That little slot right there. Okay, so I guess it's going to charge up now. So let me charge it for a while, and then we'll see how this thing works. Okay, should be interesting. Okay, so the manual on this scope recommended charging it about 10 hours, and I charged it that much. The red light did go out, but I just plugged it in for a second. Okay, so let's unplug it, and let's see if this thing works. Let's see, we have our little clip leads with the SMP type connectors, and let me just connect these up just in case we're going to need to use them. Pretty nice little push-on connectors. Okay. And here's the only button that's on this device. And oh, look, I push it and it turns on. It says bootloader. Yeah, let me remove this little plastic cover here. And okay, so it's got some kind of presets, so you can store presets into this scope. And it looks like it is on and running, and I'm not sure how to, oh, okay, this button down here causes it to hold, and oh, well, looks like I can move the trace up and down just by touching on it, so it is, the touch screen's working. And let's see, can I change the scale? Oh, I might have to fiddle with this to see how to make it work. It seems like a nice little scope though. Okay, so I've been looking at some of the features here. It looks like if you tap on the waveform and you can slide it up and down to change the offset, or if you see this bar at the top, you can scroll through the waveform. See how the bar that shows you, it's like a window bar, shows you how much of the waveform you're seeing. So you can scroll through the waveform like that. There's a menu, it says menu up here at the top. And if you click on that, you can save, send data, save waveforms. You have delta T, delta F, frequency. Okay, let's see, there's more options. Okay, I don't know what auto is off is. Okay, and looks like you can turn the scope off here, reboot, or escape. And there's a few other menus here. Sometimes you have to tap it a couple times. Okay, if you tap on the DC at the bottom, you can change the volts per division. You can change the coupling. It looks like DC, AC, and ground. And let's see what other, this 2 millivolts. So it goes down to the 2 millivolt scale, which is interesting because a lot of these cheap scopes I've been getting don't go down to that low of a setting. So I couldn't do some experiments with it that I'd like to do. Looks like up to 20 volts. And it says more over here. Sometimes these touch sensors don't work so well. Looks like I can't go over more though. So that's a fake button. Okay, so we can either do done or cancel. Okay. And there's a time division one. It says 1 millisecond. See if we can click on that. Okay, and so it looks like we can change from, let's go all the way over. Okay, so we can change the number of points from 512 to 1024. And it looks like it goes up in time division to about 50 seconds, which is, you can use it as a chart recorder, I guess, if you have it on that slowest time scale. And 1 microsecond. Huh. I guess we can't go faster than that. So I guess we can figure out approximately what the bandwidth of this thing is. If 1 microsecond is the smallest division. Okay, so it must be in the megahertz range. And here's another menu right here. You can have auto trigger, normal, or single, positive or negative trigger, and I guess this is the slope. Different slopes it will trigger on. Okay. Looks like 1/8, 1/4, 1/2, 3/4, and 7/8. So I'm not sure exactly what that is. It has internal or external sync. Or trigger. Maybe those are triggers. You can do an external trigger. Okay. Okay, I guess you can change it from run to hold by pushing this run hold icon up there. And you can also run hold it by pushing this button down here, which I think is more precise, more responsive than that touch screen. The directions say the touchscreen is a resistive touchscreen, so it does seem to be a little bit, I don't know how you say, flaky maybe. Oh, okay, look. This might be the trigger level over here. It looks like you can grab it and pull it up and down. See that, how I changed the position of that? It's a little pink arrow here. I assume that's the trigger level. And you can also, like I showed earlier, grab the trace level and move that back and forth. Well, it looks like this might be a pretty nice scope, so we'll have to fiddle around with it and see exactly what it can do. Okay. Let's see. Of course, it's very small, fits right in the palm of your hand here. Very nice, huh? Okay. Okay, so here we got our scope here, and I have it hooked up to my BK Precision signal generator, which goes up to 10 megahertz. And let's just test the bandwidth. I've got it set at 10 kilohertz, and I'm going to bring the frequency up to, just start bringing it up until it reaches bandwidth limit. Okay, so right there, that's about 100 kilohertz. I'm going to bring it back down and set it on the 1 megahertz scale. So that starts at 100 kilohertz. And I'll bring this up, keep on bringing it up to, okay, that's about 1 megahertz there. And almost looks like it's starting to alias at that point. Let me change the time frequency division. So I click on the bottom. We'll change it to 1 microsecond. Okay, so look at that. It's already looking like a sine wave at 1 megahertz. Okay, let me bring this back down, and I'm going to bring it up to the 10 megahertz scale, and we'll just slowly bring up the frequency. Okay, so that's 1.6 megahertz. Oh, look at that. That's 2 megahertz. So I would say probably the bandwidth is only about 1 megahertz on this guy, because this is 3 megahertz. It's already looking funky and aliasing. I don't know, maybe aliasing. Yeah, looks like it's aliasing because we're at 5, and the frequency looks like it's getting lower. So we're above the sampling frequency right there. So I would say probably the bandwidth limit of this guy, the DSO112A, is probably about 1 megahertz or so. Okay. But anyway, it's pretty nice for measuring frequencies lower than a megahertz. It's, you know, portable, handheld signal osciloscope. Good for a variety of things. I think I'll probably use it for quite a bit, maybe out in the field and stuff, because it does have the high sensitivity setting on the volts per division down there. Okay, and anyway. Okay, so there is a manual online at this location, jyetech.com, and it's a user manual, and on page 10 they talk about being able to recover waveforms to your computer, but you have to install some kind of special software on your computer, and this one's for Windows, and they talk about maybe having some things for other operating systems, and it's not clear what it is. But the Windows one is www.silabs.com. Okay, I guess we can try clicking on that, and there's a URL right there. And okay, well, I guess they want you to register and all sorts of nonsense. Okay, so you can log in and register, I guess, to get their products. I'm gonna have to look around and see if it's worth getting this software. It seems like a big pain. Normally the scopes will have just a normal USB connection, so you don't have to install special software or whatever. Seems pretty iffy. It's coming from China. Yeah, maybe I don't want to install their special software to retract one waveform. I don't know, we'll see. Okay, so I have a junky laptop here, which I guess I don't care if it gets infected with this crazy Chinese crap. And here's our webpage, jyetech.com, and this is the upload manual, the user manual, talking about how to do the serial download communications. And here's a link right here, so we'll click on that link. Okay, and brings us to this page, jtech.com/drivers, and I believe, well, let's try this, virtual COM port for USB Windows. Okay, I'll try that one. And so we'll just download that one and see what happens. Let it download for a little bit. Okay, so here is our file that's having problems. We're not able to run it. Every time we run it, it tries to block it. And there's a CP210 VCP installer. I guess we'll try clicking on that. And it's still blocking it. Okay. Okay. Have to figure out what to do about that. Okay, so anyway, I just got through spending quite a bit of time trying to install the software on a Windows machine to try to download the data from this guy here, and I was unsuccessful. They kept on giving me Windows 1 to block it, and I went through all the procedures on the internet that tried to teach you how to unblock it, and I couldn't. And anyway, it looks like it transfers the data as a serial data file. I'm not going to spend any more time on this. I like the scope. I'll accept I have other scopes I can download the data if I need to. So if you want a scope that downloads the data, maybe you can do single trace if you can figure out how to fix these issues. Otherwise, I don't know, it's a pretty good scope, touch sensitive, it's not too expensive, bandwidth of about 1 megahertz. Nice portable scope. It seems to be fairly good so far. Anyway, this is Dr. Janes, and thanks for watching.